The Gurkha selection is one of the toughest selection. There is no time. Either you are at best or nothing. And when you are in that situation, time and space, and it doesn't really matter. What matter most is just your performance and your driven and the focus.
Welcome back to Mulligan Brothers. Today's video, as always, was sponsored by Huel. I'm drinking Huel Black Edition, which has 26 vitamins and minerals, 35 grams of protein and slow release carbs to make sure that I can stay satiated and proteined up whilst I make these documentaries. If you want to find out more about these, go to the link in the description. I'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video. The leap from sort of the spiritual world to the Gurkhas and hearing stories of the Gurkhas, what was that like? Because so your grandfather served in World War II as a Gurkha. So yeah, what was the whole, I don't know, seeing the other side of it, you know, probably hearing stories of what his adventures were like and stuff like that.
Yes, to be honest, that's probably one of the sad story. I haven't actually, didn't have time to know about more my grandfather. I'm kind of doing it now because the way, in the mountain, basically we didn't have access to all this, modern and archiving and thing anyway, because my grandfather, when my grandmother was pregnant from my father, and then he gone on the Second World War and he never to be come back. And then I think maybe because of the culture and society, no one has talked. And my father never seen the father in a way. And then we lost him Second World War. And the legacy over the 300 years with in my tribe is always a warrior in a Gurkhas. And actually the word Gurkha mean to protect the universe, to protect the land, to protect the feminine energy so that we can live as a humanity, longer. So, and my father wanted to join the Gurkhas, and he spent almost 7 years in, by that time is the place in India called Lahore, now in Pakistan. That's how we call Lahore in Nepalese. Those people who joined the British Army from Lahore is Lahore. And then he spent 7 years almost in Lahore to become a Gurkhas. And it's tough, being boy from Nepal. It's one of the hardest selection, like I say, like more than, I don't know, about 20,000 applicants every year to be the British Gurkha, the warriors. And then also, it's a pride, it's the man, you are from, and every mother's, every parent's dream is to, send his son to be served as a British Gurkha. And as a young boy, for the culture we grown up, everything is our parents. And either we liked or not liked, to be honest, we don't have a choice where to born. We don't have a choice what color, and we don't have a choice which school we go. Everything is actually driven by our parents. The important is, yet again, when we grown up, we don't we don't give value and the important what they sacrifice for us. And the culture teach us, we need to respect them. Like I say, regardless we like or not like our grandparents, our ancestor, true colors of the skin, hair and nails and the flesh body is exactly same. And hence that if we are not recognizing that, then who we are truly, that's where the separation, and the bigger the separation, the bigger the suffering, and bigger the so-called identity crisis. Not what we built up through the intellectual, in academic, we recognize something else, but actually the true human and true connection is our bloodline, is our ancestor. Because of their sacrifice and their commitment, we are here now.
Yeah, you've spoken about the sort of immediate impact of your grandfather and your father, and like almost like in Nepalese culture, it's now your responsibility to sort of write that path almost. So the weight on your shoulders going into becoming a Gurkha, what was the pressure? Like, did you feel like it's something you needed to do, or did it just kind of, did it just happen and you managed to sort of fix the curse, or like not fix the curse, sorry, that's probably not the best word to use, but sort of realign where your sort of family's path was supposed to be?
Anything can be a cause, and anything can be your desire and dream. It's all about how we put ourselves in it, all how to recognize that. Of course, it was, like in a way, it's my parents' dream, for me to become a Gurkhas, and before I even born. But I think that it's a life when that's what we call the bhakti. Bhakti is energy form, which is the commitment and devotion. But when our own desire and dream is bigger than who we are. For in this case, I think once I realized my parents are my everything, my ancestor, believe it or not, now today, still now, I got 6 family in one house in Nepal. It's my responsibility. I took this responsibility, but responsibility is bigger than myself. I think that will give us the true value and the workmanship, the craft we have to do. And because all my devotion and my commitment is for my families and, of course, immediate family, then whatever I can to serve other or to serve the nation. And this is have to be from my experience, because a lot of us will kind of self-centric and our identity driven, what for me, and we almost detach with our own soul and our own bloodline. I think if we are more the bigger the separation, then regardless what we have in the bank and where we live, it eventually it's not gonna give us a peace and happy and joyful life. I think those are the things beyond our sensation, because that give the reflection to our sight, and what we hear is something can be carved and can have a direct impact who we are. But I think if we develop our sixth sense, what I hear, what I see, what I feel can be changed and reflect and realize, and the true peace and happiness can be found from there. And that's where the bloodline, the legacy, not for myself, of course, what for me, but also how can we also enhance my family and my community, my society. And then you can go, to the country, that hold the family and friends safe today. And if you are not valued that, service, then we almost forget who we are. And then I think that's what the problem we're facing in the modern world is. We almost run away from who we are, basically.
If you lead a busy life like me and millions of other people around the world, you might be struggling to get your nutrition in. That's where this stuff comes in, absolutely clutch. If health was easy, everyone would be doing it. But Huel make it that easy. You scoop, you shake, and you go, and you get 26 vitamins and minerals, and every single ingredient inside this and all of Huel's other products has been expertly tested by their team to make sure you're getting exactly what you need. And if I'm really in a pinch for time, I'll grab their ready to drink, which has 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and tastes delicious. Don't just take my word for it though. People like Idris Elba, Diver CEO Stephen Bartlett, and hardest geezer who ran the entire length of Africa use this as part of their daily routine. So if you want to find out more, go to the link down below. You can get exclusive offers, like if you sign up to their subscription service, you get 10% off all future orders. And if it's your first time ordering, you get a free shaker and t-shirt. It's also now available in major retailers in the UK and the US. What are you waiting for? Go get it.
Some of the values that you talk about from your culture, I think really aligned well with, or it's within sort of the Gurkha. When you think about Gurkhas, these are the sort of the values that you think of. And I've heard you again speak about sort of how society looks at the Gurkhas like almost like these heroes, and like they're really very well respected as people. What was that like when you eventually passed, or how does it work? First of all, actually, how does it work? So, because there's another story of you training for the Gurkha tests, and you were using bamboo. Yeah, and that's really interesting to me. So, how were you training for it? What's the test like, and what was it like once you eventually sort of passed?
Yeah, very tough. To the Gurkha selection is possibly, I would say, is one of the toughest selection, especially you are young, 17, 18 years old, almost like you are, kids, teenager, wanted to be, something else, but you don't have clue. But then tested in a high level of physical, and then some of the tests are, we have to do the 12-time pull-up, a 17, 18 years old kid, and we have to run about 6 or 7 kilometers uphill. The starting is uphill, and then the process is we carry the, we call the doko, and which is a bamboo made basket, goes on your head. And I still have the frame of the bamboos on my forehead. Like when I put the arms, I still feel there. And then the rest is so tough. There is no time, Time doesn't exist, because only thing is either you first, second, third, and either you are at best or nothing. And when you are in that situation, time and space, and it doesn't really matter. What matter most is just your performance and your driven and the focus. So this thing, and the next one is, the sit up. There's a lot of almost 6 month plus process, but these 3 tests is so demanding and challenging. First thing is doko rest, the bamboo rest. You just line up, carrying on the forehead, and then just go and run for the life. There is nothing here apart from there, because so much, thing you are living for yourself, your own dream and desire as young kids, and you're living for your parents' dream. And also, as a young boy from mountain, to be able to come to the, UK and serve for the, legacy of the 100 years of our, grandfathers, everyone, be part of that, the built up value. And the other one is 45 degree. You can try that. This one in the gym, 45 degree, but you are not, your knee, your feet has to pretty much straight, and only your, from hip onwards, and your hip your head touch the knee, 25 times in 1 minute, boom, 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 boom. And, it's pretty tough, man. And obviously, I think I failed first time, and that was devastating. You almost you not only destroy your own life in a way, not only your desire and dream, but also the society, the legacy of my ancestor, my grandparents, and my own father dream. That was pretty tough, going back to the forest in Annapurna, and after failing, almost we became, hopeless, isn't it? A lot of people talk about the physical, and if you not have a mind, driven, but actually, when you are physical give up, mind, they might be thinking so much thing, but physically it's hard, mentally it's hard to grasp that, isn't it? I think this is where my realization is, whatever we do in life, and there has to be the hook has to be outside us. If something is only me and my driven, then if myself, physical and mental, is in a ditch or dark place, it's hard to see the light, and light has to come from outside, isn't it? It's like a sun and a moon. Every morning, we think everything is happening from me and myself, but actually our life, the pran, soul, energy is given from outside sun and moon. And that's why our dream and desire and ambition has to not for only today. It's not only for tomorrow. It has to be the generation. It has to be focused for our forthcoming children. How can we give them a better life? Not only, physical comfort, but also place for the mind, where they can go inside, feel safe, feel comfort, and bring the true color of humanity.
Wow, that's really powerful stuff. You pass and then you come to the UK. What was that experience like?
Man, that was, the first thing, that was the first time I cried, but cry with the sensation of, joy and, the dream, and I had for many generations, all the dream for my father. And also, as a young boy, flying on the plane, and asking my mother, which she didn't have answer like when I was kids. Now, oh, this is plane, this can be fly, and very exciting. But at the same time, I think I definitely realized first time when I see the bacon and sausage, I couldn't believe people actually survive with the bacon and toast, and I couldn't eat. And I genuinely think how the people can live, but in those days, but a lot of food and cultural shock, and we have to. Gurkha has been great. They've been giving us, feeding us, and we do a lot of interaction with the going to the society, how we need to dress up, we need to eat with the knife and fork, we need to go to the toilet, never seen this toilet like this one, we always have a natural outside toilet, and almost like learning, but fast learning, but also I think as a grown-up kids, we always have this value of the culture and society. Definitely food culture, language is the biggest barrier. I couldn't speak, like, let's be honest, I practiced for maybe about 1 year when I failed for the next year. And one of the reasons I also failed was my education. And I wrote one paragraph, for my interview and said, my name is Krishna Thapa, and I want to join the British Gurkha, because I want to keep my legacy of my parents and my ancestor dream, and also to, support their financial wish. This 3 line I practiced for 1 year, because normally we heard, because normally we heard the first question will be asked from the, officer, the Gurkha, the British Gurkha officer will be, why do you like to be a British Gurkha? It's like, oh, my name is Krishna Thapa. I want to join because I want to keep the legacy of my parents' dream and also support financially so that we can live happily and peacefully in the mountain. So, that and coming here, now you are in it and seeing and be, part of that was, I think it's a great opportunity. And I truly believe that time, my dream, I can live and happy. And one of the really great thing happened on the greatest, and still is the legacy I live by and dream I live by, and also the course as well, because my grandmother, which is, my inspiring, my first wake up conscious mind was she was chanting and a singing bowl in Himalayas. And obviously, when I came to UK, first picture, and we send, I send with, with the Gurkha dress, proper military dress, and we send to my grandmother, and apparently she said to my father, she said, oh, my grandson Krishna is laughing. Now my generation will never be a poor and never be a suffer again, because my grandmother she lived in because after losing her husband, we didn't have place to live. So we live in a smaller, with the haze and like with the just a couple of trees on the side. That's how my father and grandmother, lived their life. And then later on, once sees my father little bit, and we make a smaller, small one, smaller like cottage. And she said, but sadly, once I joined the Gurkha, she died, and I couldn't able to meet her personally. But when I went back, and my father says, she look at this photo you sent her, and she said, now no one will be suffering like her ever again. And no, I think I truly live by that dream and that desire, and my every morning, ritual, every morning wake up and to gratitude and her dream. And I every morning go outside, have a water in a small glass, and I will dedicate it this time and moment, to her and the legacy. And I will walk for, every last breath to keep that legacy, who we are, and keep that bloodline, as clean as possible.
When you return home for the first time after going to the UK, and you come back, this spiritual leader and now Gurkha, what was that like?
First thing is, it's like a lister, if let's be honest, when you go back to the mountain, let's be honest, from my mountain range, I was the only one by that time. We had and my relatives, my uncle was Gurkhas. He was in Hong Kong by that time. And then maybe no one. Then I kind of, after many years, I was the only one with the whole, not only my tribe, my area, but whole mountain range. And that is the news. It's like, big breaking news, like from this area, like Thapa is joined to the Gurkhas, everyone. And whenever we go back, it's a big celebration, like we play a lot of ancient way of, drum, it's so called the music and dance, and we go and we, it's like party basically, dancing. And great thing was, great to see the mother and then my father, like kind of, joy, happy. And it's, I think it's a moment to treasure, some of the moment in life we always wanted to treasure and keep in our heart and mind. And these are the moments, and we need to reflect, when we dark down and deep. And that's how the, the compassion and love have a power to dig us out from dark area. We need to survive. We need to fight. Regardless of who we are and what we have, doesn't really matter if you are dead. We need to act of warrior. Otherwise, we become nothing and no one. Once everyone is safe, then we need to evolve through, with the wisdom as a true warrior monk.